Happy Matchy Miniature Monday. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Monday time. Today, I'm gonna go, it's not exactly Halloween, but it feels like it has that vibe, even though it's kind of more of like a panic attack, anxious vibe. Anyway, so I am going to be recreating Edvard Munch's, or is it Munch? Recreating the painting The Scream. It's a pretty iconic painting. I want to say, I feel like even if you don't know the name of it, if someone said, yeah, the painting that's called The Scream, then you would probably know what that was. But obviously, if not, this is the painting. I believe there's actually like a few of them. So I have this thick little book about very famous artworks throughout history. And yeah, of course, this one is in here. There it is, right there. So yeah, I am going to be doing this one, a little excerpt on Edvard, Norwegian painter, and his style was more symbolism. It describes his works as intense, tortured, and highly psychological images. And yeah, so, and the one that's listed in this book also says it's waxed crayon and tempera on paper. So anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna do this. And I have a variety of polishes here because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be doing a lot of mixing. And I'm gonna just go for it. So let's go. Alright, we're getting down to the business. I decided to do a background for this one, but the background is really just one color. So usually I leave no background and I keep it just transparent. For this one, I wanted to do just a solid color. I didn't want to overcomplicate it with trying to also recreate the background in the painting. So I just did red because the red sky was kind of what like triggered him. So I did the background, and now I'm just going in with white to get the base shape of him in there. Mostly because, well, one, to make sure that I have enough kind of room for everything, that I've accounted for everything. But also because I know all of the crems are not opaque. So I didn't want to have to like keep layering and layering them on over the red background. So I said, let me just play it safe and do a white background. And because I was having to, I knew I was going to be mixing the skin tone and then the jacket color. So I didn't want to have to like try and keep mixing and layering. So I said white background, and then I'll mix his flesh color, the flesh tone, which I did first. And then I mixed colors for his jacket, like the base color for the jacket, and laid that on there. And now I'm just going in with a solid color, like rust color, and carving out more of his face on the right side, and then a blue indigo-ish color on the left, carving out the left side of his face, like between his face and his hand, or his head and his hand. And then now I'm also using that indigo color to put more of shadows on his jacket. I really liked the idea of using this indigo color for like the darker parts of his jacket. So I didn't use any black, and I actually didn't use any white aside from the base shape of his body for this. And I don't know, I'm proud of that. Sometimes in painting and coloring, you use black and white as like shadow and highlight, but this was kind of a fun little coloring exercise for me in a way. So yeah, I used that for his shadows, and then he had more red also, so I also used the red in his jacket too. I felt like it kind of showed a little bit too much, so I tried to tone it down with gray later on. And then I'm using just plain the ivory color as kind of highlights on, well, not exactly highlights, but highlights in the whites of his eyes. I think I made his eyes, like the white of his eyes, a little bit too big. And then I think I also, like, I put his, the proportions where I placed the gray for his facial features, it made it look a little bit cartoony. That's just what happened. I think maybe I made his nostrils too far apart, perhaps, and not enough space on his forehead, maybe. But I mean, yeah, I wouldn't know what that is. I'd be like, oh, that's that little famous screaming guy. Alright, and there he is. He looks a little bit more cartoony than intended. I think that's just the nose placement. I think just the general face placement. This was fun. It was a lot of like mixing colors. For some reason, I just felt like none of the colors matched exactly. And I think what's a little bit interesting about trying to recreate like an actual artwork, especially one like this where it used like pastels, is there's so much blending of colors. And so I had to pull like different colors. Like I used Indigo Away for like the darker elements on his jacket. I didn't want to just use black. So it was fun to mix colors and like try and pull the colors from the artwork and translate them with nail polish. I think the idea of him is definitely there. Like I said, it's a lot more cartoony somehow than intended, but again, similar to the Black Widow spider, I feel like this is one where maybe if I like gave it to them, they'd be like, oh yeah, this is, you know, from that painting, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, see, you know. So yeah, that is it. I might try and explore more painterly styles just because it's something I'm interested in, but I don't really delve into it all that often, so this could be kind of a fun thing to do. So yeah, that is the video. That's my little miniature for today. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing for more funky content like this. And as always, thanks for being here. Bye!